Hey y'all, here is what we've got for you today. If you didn't know, the Warlord CCG has a beautiful multiplayer format that is akin to Commander, EDH. They can't say that, but we can say it. It's a 4-player, sit at a table, get your cards out, singleton alliance format. So what we're gonna do here is at the end of the night, after we'd recorded all of our Warlord content with Woodrow and Josh came into our office and studio and did all of this, we said, you know what, let's record a 4-player video and just have a good time with it. And it took us about 2-ish hours, 2.5.
It's all a blur to me. So yes, 2.5 hours. Trust this guy.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 hours. And of course, we were just like yucking it up the whole time. We're having a great time. It was the late night. We were a little bit goofy and loopy. So there is that element to this. But what we did is we took that game and we crushed it down into kind of the highlights and the important moments of that game. Because nobody, I don't think, wants to watch a 2.5 hour gameplay. It's very difficult to kind of appreciate that.
Less people.
Well, certainly.
I won't say nobody.
There are some people that would love
There's
that.
a lot of people that watch a lot of our streams, but less people.
What's going to happen is Zach and I, we're going to have clips from that show, from that recording, and then Zach and I are going to give you some context and kind of the impression that we were getting all throughout that game to kind of link everything together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give you an explanation of the format. We're not going to belabor that on our end because Woodrow did a great job at the table. So we're going to cut to the table and get Woodrow explaining to us how the format worked, and then we'll be right back.
We have an extra starting character for rank 1 and 2, and then we have, of course, our second Warlord, and we have a 70-card Highlander deck, and this is a free-for-all, so the last person to control a Warlord will be crowned the victor. There's no special targeting rules or anything. Everything is, open, and yeah, it should be a good time. This will be your first kind of. This is the first game of Alliance for you guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
This is going to be thick for us.
To be clear, for those that don't know what Highlander means, is that one of each card?
Singleton, yeah.
Singleton. I apologize. One of each card. Thank you. No, yeah.
Yeah, clearly I knew, but
Clearly.
clearly.
Of each card, there can be only one.
Yeah.
But so I'll just really quickly go over the two decks that I built. So we let Steven and Zach pick from two. The deck that I made for myself is Calton the Bleak paired with Carebray Netherin, and this one stuns characters. This one pitches cards to make DC saves, so I'll be doing a lot of saves and watching my opponents roll and kind of laughing when they roll poorly instead of trying to roll high myself. And then the other deck that we brought is that Zach elected to play is Laird John Hawthorne and Tursoth. Laird John has a react whenever he moves. He performs a +4 range strike, exactly, pull the trigger. And he's got Tursoth helping him move, so he's just going to be shoving him around the ranks and performing range strikes. So it's kind of a range strike focused deck, and it's mercenaries and free kingdoms.
So essentially, Woodrow is going to be stunning all of the characters. They're going to be making them make DC saves to like not die. And then you're going to be running around with your archer. One of your warlords is moving things around. The other one is the archer that's like shooting at things. And so you take these two warlords, and the warlords contain like your deck-defining abilities. So my deck in all of this, I'm playing a deck that I had no business playing. It's absolutely that. This is what we need to get Sam Southard on this deck, because this is Jordan of the Summit. Most importantly, one of your other dwarves equips an item. The target dwarf is +1 level for equipping the item. It's all about building Christmas tree dwarves. So you got Joran, who's making everything easier to equip, so you can put higher level items on lower level things. Then you have Durin. Your dwarves can equip and use items while stunned, and they can equip fighter weapons regardless of class. You can also spend to search for a weapon and equip it to a dwarf. So this is just a massive engine to just go get stuff. So my deck is full of dwarves and items. And Zach, if you can put this together, I'm going to put the items on the dwarves.
What?
That's the essential.
And then they're going to
quality.
do like 1,000 things each.
And then they're just going to be annoying. They're going to be thick and impossible to do.
Yeah, I mean, look at the guns on that one.
Meantime,
that guy could murder someone.
Yeah, he's a scary. Now look at Josh's deck. This is a creepy stuff.
That's the scariest art I've seen so far.
This is all creepy things. He's got Cruisen. So Cruisen, whenever a character enters play, you discard a card and they gain the monster trait. So you don't discard if it's yours. You can just turn your own stuff into monsters. Cool. And then you can spend to give all monsters +3 attack until end of turn. So you can see where this is going.
Yeah, so he basically mutilates things and makes them monsters.
Yeah, that's the flavor kind of.
If your opponent, I could imagine there would be reasons you would want to make your opponents monsters.
Yeah.
I think monster hunters and stuff.
And I think with Josh's deck, it was mainly about because you have so much more, so many more things on the board, is mainly about making his stuff monsters and giving them all +3 until end of turn. And then Artek, because it's Josh and he just loves the Nothrog, it's just a simple order, move forward 1 rank, plus 14, plus 9. So this is just put a beat stick at the front of the line and see what anybody wants to do about it.
Crazy.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So those are the games. Now, one thing I will say about a 4-player format, and anybody who knows me or has been watching this content for a long time probably has an idea.
Do I need to
what
give you a
might say
bulk box
here.
real quick?
Yeah, I will stand on. We actually have log boxes down here that
Right
y'all
there,
can't
yeah.
see. Typically, you need something to drive action to the conflict. Now, Warlord actually doesn't suffer with this very much because you can't just move around and then just that's it. You kind of are incentivized always to be swinging. So you have to choose somebody to swing at. Like in sorcery and in miniatures games, a lot of the time, if there's not like a central objective, it's just like, I'm just going to stand here and nobody's going to make the first move.
Yeah.
It's actually really hard to do that in Warlord because the first move that you have is actually usually like obvious. It's like, I can take this guy and swing at your first 3 guys. Well, that's a good trade, so I'll do that. So it's not as critical in Warlord, but introducing something that is like, capture this, or the first blood has a benefit or something might be worth considering. But otherwise, I think the format plays exceedingly well. And to start, how do we start?
With a D20.
With a D20, where everything starts and ends with Warlord, the D20. So we're going to roll initiative. Woodrow rolls highest ultimately. So we started off, Woodrow rolls. He goes first, and then we just go around the table clockwise from there.
We'll see if action is needing to be prompted here.
Yeah.
Let's kick us off.
You're first.
Before I forget. I am first. I'm first. Yeah, I'm the one wasting time. Let's...
Nobody has reacts to initiative? No. We're good.
We'll attack.
Oh, that's a thing that exists?
I'm going to go ahead.
There's one in
that
his
makes
deck.
sense.
There's one in his deck that would turn this all into a wild time.
I'm going to go ahead and... Zach's looking kind of scary to me, and Brother Dominic's kind of broken. I'm not going to lie.
I thought we had a pact.
To kill Steven?
Hey, what do you?
Hey,
This is the only time I'm going to attack you this entire game, so I'll just give me this one
not
pass.
film.
So it's a
It's not
one and done.
film.
It's a one and
It's
done.
not
Yeah.
dude.
So this is what multiplayer games are, right?
Yeah, it's a social game as much as it is a tabletop
It's
game.
an absolute social game. And here's the weird thing about making alliances and all of this. Like in a game like Magic, whenever you decide to do a thing, it happens. Now somebody could cancel it and they make like that. Now there's a new kind of power dynamic happening. But in Warlord, like you try to do a thing, but it doesn't always succeed. So even if I'm like backstabbing you in a sudden act of betrayal, if I roll a 1, or if I don't hit, I've betrayed you, but I have gained nothing.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
So
We used to play a lot of
it's
Thrones
very
melee,
careful, yeah.
right? And it was like, I'm attacking this, or, there's a lot of betrayal happening there. I would also say, from personal experience, when you're playing these multiplayer formats, make sure everyone's on the same page
Totally.
about whether or not this is going to have personal impact after the fact. I've nearly lost a really good friend to a Thrones melee situation where there were some communication errors. So just go into it knowing it really, there are like, I've seen people really get on tilts from this. So I think it's important for people to be aligned on why they're at the table.
Right.
And Warlord helps with the D20, as you were saying. But anyways, word to the wise.
Yeah.
Be
4-player
careful.
game,
It was-
right into a session of therapy is
That's
really
right.
kind of where
Yeah.
we want to be.
And this group of 4 people, very light. Obviously, we have a long history. They have a long history. And we're at the end of the day, and there's no stakes, and we're kind of I just wanted to see what happens.
Just see cards on the board. And that's what a lot of these formats really are. It's just like, let's see a bunch of cards on the board and have a good time with it. And see how, and Warlord, I will say, is particularly satisfying as a multiplayer format because you have the tangible result of a rank breaking and things starting to fall forward. And so like, we might all get together and say like, hey, he's got a really powerful thing in his like 3rd rank. If you kill that thing and I kill that thing, then that thing will be forward, and now we can hurt that thing.
Yeah. Then the middle guy misses. You're gonna edit them out.
Make him look really, really bad.
And we got a 7, which isn't going to get Brother Dominic's 14.
Oh, so you missed.
I missed, yeah. So no big deal.
Yeah, it was just your friendly tap. It's just like, hey, I want
It was a high five. Yeah, it was literally a high five.
Okay, so now I do something. But now I know.
Now you know, Woodrow's not to be trusted.
People want to kill him, so I
Yes.
may as well use him.
Yeah,
That's
probably a good call.
you identified a good thing to do.
I'm gonna be an agent of chaos. Don't
Yeah,
mind
please
those
do
rolls.
that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
3,
It's
you.
usually-
I love
1
it.
to 4, left to right. 4. I'm attacking that.
Target.
Ooh.
All right. What's your
It's a 10 AC.
10, and I'm at +0.
You're plus 3.
Plus 3. He is.
Oh,
he is-
he's giving 3 to the entire rank. Yeah, he's too
He
good.
just. I need. You said 10.
Yeah, see.
7.
7. 5. 5.
Nice.
Okay,
Okay, everybody's just hanging out.
We're all just hanging out. We're hanging out.
The aggression doesn't count unless you hit.
That's right.
That's the rule of alliance.
Oh,
just like real life,
yeah,
you
that's
know?
the right play.
People are testing each other all the time.
You dictate who's playing the action.
Ooh, what is this? So, the
I played a card that lets everybody draw, and you're like, boo.
So
Focus is going to meet at the end. Everybody draws 1, I draw 2. Woo.
Yep. Seems fair.
Anybody have a reaction, etc.?
No, I love that.
Yeah, see, I'm just a friend of everybody.
Most people won't stop you from meeting at the end.
No.
They want the card.
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have this Strogget here also be at the end.
We're drawing again.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree.
We're getting some tankards and getting ready.
Yeah, so that's the first time around. So we had 2 attacks, both missed, and then we drew a bunch of cards. So what happens now, of course, is that everybody's got kind of the early what's going on out of the way. Well, Josh and Wood already know what's going on. But we start looking at cards, and so you start noticing things on the table.
What's abyssal mean? Anything important?
This is
No.
a trade.
What about astral?
Yes.
Astral
Odd
is
strikes, you
planar.
miss it.
Yeah.
So if somebody rolls odd, they miss. Yeah.
This guy's astral.
This is your most aggressive play. This thing will do a range strike for each adjacent character.
Yeah, it's
So
like a lot of stuff.
two range strikes
for right now.
right now
Yeah.
immediately.
And they're
And they'll be at
plus
plus 7.
sevens.
Yeah.
Why are they +7?
Because you have an Archer Tower.
This is giving plus 6 to range strikes for now.
Because Woodrow built an
I love
aggro
this deck.
Yeah.
I love it.
Woodrow built
Is it
an
the
aggro
It
aggro
has
deck.
the option. It has the option to be aggro.
I did.
yes.
Well, yeah, that's what we're going
You
to
have
do.
to pull the trigger. You're the one pulling the trigger. Yeah.
I will be pulling the
built it
trigger.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the option to be aggro, and I think you accept the mantle.
Yeah, that's a temptation I can rarely stay away from.
We will swing at darkness.
Okay?
Oh, no, it's not even. Oh, you move back. Yeah. Plus 1.
I have a lot of things that need to be resolved.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's a whole
Okay,
cascade
react.
here.
After a character in this rank is targeted with a strike until end of turn, dwarves in this rank get +1 attack. Okay. But wait, there may be more.
You
I would
targeting
just- I would
gives
just
all
mark-
this stuff
I would
+1?
just mark your rank because
gets plus
even
one
if characters
attack.
enter later, they get.
Oh, sick.
You're just charging them
All
out.
right, so rank 1 gets
Yeah,
+1.
Yep.
Once per turn after melee strike, the targeted dwarf.
After the strike.
Okay, got
So
it.
after he does the strike.
All right, yeah, no, don't ignore that. Just go
After I
ahead.
roll this 9
Yeah,
and
you
take
go,
her
you go
out.
ahead and take do a strike there.
Goodbye, darkness. She didn't even get to be around for 1 turn. Look at that. Oh, a 7. No, I missed. I'm just kidding.
Huh.
Your actions.
Wait, so I could do this right now?
Yes, now you can do this.
Now you can kill that.
Let's react. Let's do it. Once per
Once per
turn
turn,
after a
yeah.
melee
DC
strike that
15.
targeted a dwarf, you must succeed DC 13 or suffer a wound.
I need 11. This is no problem.
Ooh, crit hit 20.
No problem at all.
That means you actually just lose.
That's how that works.
Yeah. The player suffers a wound.
That's
A
right.
mental wound.
The player literally suffers a wound. Give me your
Emotional
hand.
damage, Steven. Yeah. We need a ruler.
Whip.
So this can happen infinitely. Oh my gosh.
So we keep targeting that and you keep charging up?
Well, we should probably break that
Kill the
guy's
bastard.
nose.
No, wait, man.
That's why that's got to fin, man.
Yeah.
You guys try and stop that.
That's defend 6. Let's go.
Your starting rank is fun.
Y'all are done. So this is where everybody starts to understand what's actually being set up, what decks have come to the table, and what engines are actually at play. So all my dwarves are going to keep getting +1 as my front row gets attacked. You've got guys that are moving around and starting to shoot multiple ranged attacks to the front ring. And I think each of us has 1, maybe 2 powerful pieces that are making the entire deck function. And because it's singleton, if you take care of that problem, normally you don't have any more problems. Yeah, so I think we'll see some more powerful cards as the game progresses.
So this guy can attach anything at level 4 or lower and then just repeat it.
Just spam it every turn.
Yeah.
Every turn. Yeah. I will equip Martyr's Helm to my Warlord. Gives it stealth, which lets it move into opposing armies.
Pretty good.
That's what stealth means?
Stealth lets you move into opposing armies and cancel strikes.
Stealth is, well, I'll have an interesting experience with stealth throughout this game. But
Maybe experience it personally?
I'll tell you what, if there's one thing in this game that I would experience personally, of course, I'm keen to experience most things in games personally because I'm a very emotional player, as we've learned on stream. But the idea that somebody's character can enter my ranks is an affront.
Do you think it is like is it like a lack of control?
They're my ranks.
Yeah,
yeah,
I see. Yeah. My point exactly.
So get out of them, right?
Yeah.
Like these are, I've built this. This is the way I want it to look and function.
thematically,
you can't just come in here.
It's cool though, because like you have spies and people infiltrating and stuff, and
Yeah.
you know you have your little kingdom, but there's someone in the castle that shouldn't be.
And most importantly, you have a DC save for any time you're struck or attacked. It cancels the strike if you make your stealth check. So I could spend a lot of actions trying to remove the thing, But if they keep rolling their stealth check correctly, and if they have a high skill check, then they will do that. I can't do anything about them until they run out of stealth charges.
You couldn't hypothetically do something about them.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened to you yet.
No, it's a hypothetical.
But
yes,
possibly.
purely hypothetical.
Yeah.
But in the future, maybe.
So before he dies, Artek is going to attempt to play a bomb.
You could just like move him back.
Oh wow, guys, this is a big.
This is a big thing.
You know what Woodrow is concerned.
Yeah, so I think a lot of Commander players love building the combo decks that sometimes go nuts. And so what Josh has done here is shown us one such combo called Secret of the Suns. So it's a level 9 action, but you can spend X number of fighters to give somebody plus X levels for performing it. So, if you spend 6 guys, then a level 3 thing can do this. The order is perform a +6 melee strike targeting each opposing character within 2 ranks. Now, that is your first rank, my first rank, Woodrow's first rank, Woodrow's second rank, your second rank, my second rank, all at +6. Even more if he gets +3 for all of his monsters from Cruisen. Even more if he's got other stuff, which I think he's got a Gilbert that gives him +1.
And a lot of these characters have 1 health. So you can just
Most.
clear the board.
Yeah, so we're looking at Josh deciding to make a +10 melee strike against everything in our first and second row.
A true agent of chaos.
So I get a +10 melee strike
Everything in rank 1 and 2.
for every player. Yep.
1.
Where's your 4 attack coming from?
I have +3 from Crucian and +1
Crucian.
from Gilbert.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got nothing, man. Party on.
gonna get a little shorter, huh?
Well, it's good. That's
Yeah, we're all gonna get mad and kill our attack.
Yeah, you're gonna all get mad and kill Artek. So
Artek's-
I'm gonna die first.
Yep.
But I'm gonna do a big thing before.
We'll fast forward this a little bit. What proceeds to happen over the next 5 minutes of Josh rolling a d20, is 12 characters die, and 2 warlords get wounded.
The old 1 card for 12 cards?
Yeah.
What a sweet exchange. There's a 12 there.
Woodrow lost 3 characters and 2 wounds on the warlord. You lost 5 characters and 1 wound on the warlord. I lost 4 characters, but my warlords are totally intact. But of course, after that happens,
Revenge.
kind of look over at Josh and say,
Revengers assemble.
I think it's time. This guy is too much. We can't take that.
Look at the board.
Okay, so I'm gonna swing at Artek.
Yeah, do it.
And I'm gonna attempt a power attack.
Yeah, please
Right?
do.
So you're looking for a DC 20. You got your
Power
blue
bomb.
number plus your power attack number plus your die roll.
6 plus 0 plus die roll.
But you have a bonus
14.
to your feats equal to the highest level item you have equipped, which
Oh.
is 8. So
it's 8.
6 plus 8, so 14 plus your
Don't
number.
roll. Yeah, don't roll.
So
one.
roll
No,
well.
yeah.
There we go. 16. So
don't have to
power
roll
attack
well, you
succeed.
just have to not
Yeah.
roll
Now do I need the
bad.
DC?
Just don't roll the worst numbers.
Yes, which is actually before that. But
Okay,
yes,
so that's
yeah,
the DC 15,
Yeah,
let's
so
say.
DC 15, you make that. Power attack still succeeds. 8 plus
Power
8 plus
attack
6 is good.
succeeds.
8 plus 8 plus 6.
And now we roll with plus
That or might
14.
16 to my 15 AC. I was like, oh, I have 17. No, I don't.
Got him.
Artek will die.
First true blood. First kill. First kill.
Have you ever seen Space Jam?
Very relevant comment. Thank you, Zach. Hey,
He got knocked off from half court, right there at the end.
So Josh destroys 1 million characters, and then his warlord immediately is taken off of the
Yeah,
front
now,
ranks. As we
interesting-
go around the table, I was the last one, and I was the one who did the deed.
Interestingly, though, just because he did that, yes, we all maybe want revenge to an extent, but he was actually kind of in a not great board position at that point.
Right.
So it would have been really easy for us just to ignore him.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of multiplayer is you can do all this damage and then people ignore you just because what else are you going to do about it?
Yeah, and in the meantime, Woodrow also has a warlord up front in kind of our crosshairs. And obviously, I think Josh and Woodrow, they don't want to take it. They don't want to just clean us off the board early. So they focus on each other. That allows us.
Perhaps they've underestimated our power.
Of course, they've underestimated us.
This isn't, again,
And he's got the beefy boy.
remember when I said Josh
like
plays
it prevails,
games
yeah.
wrong? Yeah.
Just please game strong.
Oh,
20.
it's 20.
I tried.
It's just pure joy. It's a mixture between joy and chaos, which is what the D20 is representative of all the time. So Woodrow just lost his. Josh was able to take that off the board, and we're still on the first round. We haven't even drawn up for the second round yet.
Chaos.
So you can see how quickly the game unfolds, and that honestly in a multiplayer game is good. The longer these things drag on, they can, and nothing changes, they can really get I guess I'll roll the dice again or whatever.
Yeah, well, and it's also there's no, when you're activating these characters in Furrow, there's not really risk. Like you have to do something with them, and you're inclined to do that thing first in
Yeah.
case they go away. So inherently, the system sort of prompts action that way,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah, I need to use my stuff before they
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do
Just
it.
got to decide who you're going to make mad.
Let's get Cal.
Sure. Eyeline, it's
3 plus a bunch. Let's find out. 4 and
He's learning. He's learning the Warlord way. Plus a bunch. I don't want to count it. I hit.
Got him.
We've got 2 strong eye formations running out of the.
Your favorite, honestly. Like,
Woodrow and Josh.
look at them go. I've got the box, of course.
Josh is on the 4 deep strong eye, which of course is very impressive. That the '90s Dallas Cowboys would love this formation that Josh is running. Woodrow only on the 3 deep strong eye. Meantime, look at the dwarves.
Perfect.
Dwarves are looking like a normal warlord.
They're running that
game.
triangle offense, honestly.
And then
Look
you
at
got
them
the square with little warlord in the back. So you and I are looking quite good. Woodrow and Josh are looking pretty problematic here. If I were an outside observer.
now. We're going to attack your beefy boy.
Okay.
You're at 15 still?
yeah.
Missed.
He's
Do it again.
Here's the question is, will we kill that before it's all over?
Yeah, Rack-Paprine. Rack-Paprine.
What's that do?
After you target a dwarf, you have to succeed DC 13 or suffer a wound.
So you have to roll a DC now.
And you have
DC
one
12, 1 skill. So you need to roll 11. What you got? Easy. I tried to hype it.
So I wound before my second strike?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Should have stunned.
No.
All right.
You can remove your things from like Jordan focus if you want.
Look
Hinder.
at Steven. He's mad. He's mad with power.
He is mad with
He's so
with
far ahead. It's
power.
crazy.
Yeah.
He's very far ahead.
So that was round 2. Or we're going to round 2, rolling initiative, etc. What is funny is that you realize how strong it is that you have things on my side of the board where if you attack my stuff, you have to roll a d20 or die.
Yeah, it is probably.
So I really incentivize. Josh has built a deck that incentivizes not attacking me, which is really awesome. But obviously that can't work forever, or I will just win. So I think people start to realize this pretty soon.
Unfortunately, we're a little late in the process to realize that.
Yeah, well, that's my hope.
You need a lot of bodies to get through those rolls.
Now we're gonna roll initiative, and remember, if you heard it in the very beginning, Josh asked, "Does anybody have any reacts to initiative?" And that was a very
For a reason.
foreboding question because he knows what he has put in my deck.
I would react.
Wow. Oh, you did it by the gods.
After you roll initiative, all players place the cards in their hands on top of their decks in any order. Until the end of the turn, Warlords have order once per turn. All players draw 3 cards.
So,
What I've found just in that one game that we played is that there are some cards lurking in the Ancients format that are insane. And they're especially insane in Alliance and 4-player, and the idea that these cards could scale across 3 players rather than 1.
Yeah.
And they're clearly not designed out of the
like
gate.
this. It's like absolute insanity.
Now we're in the swing of it too.
And remember, this is a one of in your 70 card deck. So like you're not going to see this most cards you see, you won't see most games.
right.
Like it'll be pretty varied, which is cool.
Unless you draw 12, and then you're more likely to see them.
Definitely.
But now we're slapping, dude. We are in the game, and the blood is in the water.
and collectively we're way ahead.
Yeah. You and
Not
I
to-
are doing great.
Not to ride on your coattails too much, but look at us. We're winning really strong. Look at us go.
We're definitely better than them.
Clearly.
Let's just.
So who are you targeting?
I'm going to target right here.
Okay.
I'm going to confound. So I'm going to spend here, and we're going to make you target him instead.
Oh,
very funny.
come on.
Do you dictate the target?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's just
pick
like
it.
3 dicks.
This is a person.
It's pretty good.
3 points for Steven. Let's see. Not a 1.
Boom.
That's
Slap
it.
it.
Josh is out
That's the
for
game.
All right.
I'm
well
okay with
in.
this. I'm at
pretty
peace.
funny.
All right.
So I just made you eliminate Josh.
Incredible. So you play Confound. I'm trying to attack Woodrow to let Josh live, and then you redirect my strike to kill Josh's Warlord. Incredible stuff.
So part of the strategy there was Josh was in a really weak position, and I knew you were ahead of us. And so if Josh actually hurts Woodrow, now I have 2 really weak people to try to defeat you with. Mm-hmm. If I don't have Woodrow around, I don't think there's a way for me to get over the top of what you're doing. I still don't think, at this point in the game, it's like, I don't think there's really a chance. But that was, I didn't just want to eliminate Josh, although that's kind of fun.
yeah, and this is where, like, in my mind, if when Josh is eliminated, all the items fall off or whatever, and he's a little ghost warlord, and he can stay in the game and just do a little swing every now and again to kind of turn the tide, I think that would be really fun. So that's a format that I would suggest. And then I guess I was surprised that while the game was going on, I didn't have that kind of analysis paralysis of who should I target. And maybe it's because almost the culture of the game is more of a high flying, like just destroy this or that or whatever, roll the D20. There's almost like the D20 is kind of a diplomatic mechanism to say, I am not making this personal. Let the universe decide what happens.
I think that tied with just the one action at a time. Like, you can only plan so far. I mean, part of that is the game itself. Like,
Sure.
you get one thing you have to do, and it's hard to do just like an objectively bad thing in this sort of a format.
Yeah. There's a lot of good options.
Yeah.
Let's go here on the Abyssal Wiring.
Wow.
If you roll odd, it doesn't hit.
Correct, which he's going to.
16. Get dead.
I'm trying to call these out for you, and it's just not working.
You did miss.
Go ahead and fix your ranks.
I'm gonna.
My gosh, Zach, is there something more satisfying in a card game than having to fix your opponent having to fix their ranks?
That might be satisfying, but fixing your own ranks because of such an issue is not as satisfying.
so
to be
visceral.
honest. Yeah, no, it is nice. It's just the whole rank system is rank plus D20 is where the magic of this game lives. Which is
And
really-
you get to see, it's not an abstract concept. You see the things reacting to the fact that you're crushing. And that's really satisfying. So obviously seeing my strong position, Woodrow's Warlord launches an attack against my Earthwalker. And there's a good reason to do that because he's an incredible piece on the board. So will that work out for him? I guess we'll see.
Get out of my house, or get out of your house, Sturry.
kill thyself.
Victory.
That's a moral victory.
That is, yep. It feels good. I feel better about that than killing some of the warlords.
It's on that corner.
Pass.
So I think the die is
What are we
cast.
laughing at?
Well, because we're playing a 4-player, man. It's because that's a social experience. It's very clear that you and Woodrow have an objective,
Yeah, win.
and I
Give it to
have
Steven.
to. I have to appreciate that.
You had that character we just got rid of and we high-fived about that. I think both of us were concerned we would never be able to get rid of. So the relief in just getting that off the table is immense.
Yeah, so you were able to do that. You formed an alliance to take a powerful character of mine off the board. And keep in mind, Woodrow, early on in the game, he attaches that Martyr's Helm to give his Warlord stealth. So that means that his Warlord can cancel attacks that are coming in. So he's going to have actually a lot of resilience. He can also get into my front ranks, which, of course, as you know, annoys me greatly.
If it were to happen.
I will order. Go for stealth. Going into your army. This should be good. 17. Yep, I'm good.
What does that do?
I spend,
Inconvenient for you.
and I live. I'm going to move in between some stuff. She has to defend, right?
Defended medicine. Oh, you should have.
Almost here.
Well, you can because you're stunned.
There we go. That's where I live now.
But you got the perfect pyramid going on.
It is. I do love that it is a perfect pyramid.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. But also, it didn't happen to you, but it's one of the more unsettling things that can happen. It's like
I understand. It's like a location that your opponent controls on your side of the board or something. I don't know.
Imagine you're playing any card game. What if you're playing Flesh and Blood and I just slide an armor piece into your little armor slot? Nobody
Or
wants
like
that.
a weapon into your weapon slot.
And I can't. And in order to do something about it, he's got to miss a roll, and then I've got to hit my roll. It's crazy. So here are the official rules of stealth. You can make an order once per turn. If they're ready, and if they're in the front rank of your formation, you roll the stealth check. So remember, everything's DC 20 on the
20.
feats. So you need to hit the final number's got to be 20. And then they move to the front rank of another formation. So it could be anybody at the table. Or if you're playing 1v1, it could be that's your opponent. So then they have another critical thing. After the character is targeted with a strike, they have a react. If you succeed again with that stealth check, it's canceled. And you can do that equal to the character's level. Plus once per turn while in your formation. So this character's level is like 5?
So it gets 5 times where it can cancel it
5 attempts to
if you
cancel.
target it and fail. And they're let's say they're at a plus 13 or 14. They only need to roll a 6 or a 7 to just not take it. And even if you hit them, they just take a wound.
That's right.
And if it's on a warlord, they usually have 3 or 4 health. So
Resiliency goes up. Yeah, so maybe I can get him, maybe I can't. Let's see.
I can't. I really just can't. I will. I'll stealth. We missed it.
Failed the stealth.
We
Yeah.
missed it. So that takes a charge though.
Enter plus 4. You got a 16?
18 because of murder side.
Yep.
So you need a 14?
easy.
14. You're good to go. You got this. 20.
2 20s in a row.
2 20s in a row.
I had a card that could let me get back my Warlord, but my other Warlord.
Get out of my ranks.
That would be funny.
As you can see from the die, that was his third stealth check. The first 2, he canceled my strikes because it's like somebody's invading the house. So on the third one, he missed the stealth check. I still had to roll a 14. Very unlikely. Mm-hmm. Rolled a 20.
Yeah.
He's out of the game.
Built for that moment.
5
in
attack.
fact.
So it's down to you and I. That knocks Warlord or Woodrow completely out.
If there were an oddsometer, I'd put it about 80-20.
Yeah, my odds are very high.
Your favor.
Now, here's what else I'll say. Here's what I'll say about this. There is maybe it's an issue in Warlord. I don't know. Again, we're very inexperienced at this, but you can play a game of keep C away, where you just run your Warlords to the back row of your army,
And see who runs out of first.
and you just basically throw bodies at the problem.
Yeah, like you could do that because you have this tank of an army.
Right. And then you hope that over time you just whittle them down. But I think you and I were not looking for another 3 hours of figuring
You
this
mean
out.
after 12 hours of filming?
Yes. And I hope that the culture of the Warlord play groups that are doing this is not one where you're constantly just running backwards because you want the W for pride.
I'll tell you, that might work week 1, but week 2, I'm not showing up to play against
That's
that
right.
person.
That's right.
So there's a social dynamic to this too. It's like, at what cost are you going to win this game?
Yeah.
So you're telling me you're not going to tank up.
We basically decide that we're going to slap. And I'm looking like, of course I'll take the deal because I'm looking like I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And of course I probably will.
You're staring down a world of hurt.
Wow.
You're staring down a world of hurt.
I see that.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
You'll get there eventually.
This is crazy.
He's pretty too.
The problem here is that Zach's army is all astral. And what you can always, so that's a 50-50 shot that I miss no matter what.
Yeah.
Essentially, the 20,
Maybe a
I guess.
little higher technically, depending
21.
on what your stat is.
And then you've also got to hit the number anyway, which sometimes is like a 4 or 5 that you still have to hit. And then it's like, how many dice do I have to throw to get through all of that?
Because I have characters that have it, and then I have a warlord that has it.
And you're a wily player.
Astral is exactly my keyword.
Yeah.
It's like, as soon as I understood what that did, it's like, and then I think Shadow Reaver is the character that I like so much. Like, I love that art. It's one of the astral characters. I will be playing astral characters.
You're kind of a glass cannon guy. It's like the TIE Interceptor, the TIE Advanced. It's like, I just have to let my opponent roll poorly.
That's right.
And I will be fine.
I will roll well, and they will not.
Although, I mean,
Any evens.
just any evens, right?
Any evens. I make it sound easy.
Let's try it again, yeah.
Because it is easy. But too hard for you.
Powerful, yeah.
All right, where'd that go?
Play Torin Yiskar.
Yeah.
Yiskar.
All right, justice there.
It's odd.
18.
In a world of pain.
Yeah, this is a slow,
Slow burn.
slow death.
I finally got one on the Astral.
From the moment that Josh went crazy on us, and you basically were least affected, I thought you would win. I didn't say that publicly, but
It's good to believe in yourself.
I thought you were on the pathway to winning. I always believe I'm going to win when I'm playing. Even if it's not true, I at least have that mentality of thinking I'm going to win.
Yeah, self-delusion can be a really powerful drug.
Yeah. And I think it for me at least, it keeps the mentality like not like I'm going to dominate and you can't beat me kind of vibe, but like if I think there's hope that I'm going to win, you just are a lot more positive at the table.
Well, as you know, rebellions are built on hope.
That's right. So you just I live for the games that you're not supposed to win that you pull out.
Oh, I know. Don't I know it?
Yeah. So I don't know. I like being in this position ultimately, but yeah, I nothing has changed. I have annoying things, but I also know that you have to play a certain kind of way for me to have a chance, which you're prone to do. So it's really a tale.
I just like excitement.
Wait, is that your other warlord?
Yeah.
They're both up there.
They're
now.
both out there.
Well, throw it on him.
He's walking.
He's defending.
All right. First attack, 19.
He's a 15, 17. Take a wound.
Second attack,
dangerous
trying to go there
path.
again.
Let's go here.
Torn.
Defending.
Saw the other warlord.
18 AC.
20.
1 wound.
There's hope yet.
There's a react
They're
here.
bleeding. The dwarves are bleeding.
You might notice that both of my warlords are in the front row. That's what I mean. Like, you could move them back, but you don't want to do that. So I've got 2 wounds on my warlords. I have the defend ability that I can transfer wounds kind of between these warlords and try to defend. So like I'm trying to figure that out. I have the option of maybe running away and just kind of running backwards because I have an absolute deluge of dwarves to get through.
Beefy dwarves.
But nobody wants that. And then you have a bunch of astral planar like characters, which very much take the oddsometer to like, you could just roll nothing but odds, and it doesn't matter how good your dudes are. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, it's doubling up on it because there's some numbers you'll just miss on because of your stats, and then half of the numbers that would work for you don't work anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a very powerful ability.
So it's time to slap.
3 if you roll high.
I hope.
Or nothing. Back to you.
Oh, okay.
Man, I can tell I hate those planar things so much. 3
Isolating
damage coming in
potentially.
Maybe 4.
on a 2.
So if do we have to counter, or are we
Yeah.
good?
8, 9 plus a billion on the Sword of the
Yep.
Yeah, it's at least 7.
How much damage?
3.
3.
He's gone.
Yep.
There's only so many bodies you've got, Bun. Only so many bodies. What now? Keep sending them. Keep sending them. I'll keep knocking them down.
You're getting there.
Keep sending them.
Foremost.
Correct the ranks.
It's just you need. Wow. Oh boy.
Coming at you for 3 damage on an even.
Shadow Reaper's not going anywhere.
Is that a 20? Oh, dude, I have you literally the entire kingdom of dwarves is on my side against like a few little scattered demons that you've got.
Yeah, but in card games, you never know what someone's holding on to.
That's
And as
true.
you saw earlier with Josh's crazy card, you can imagine if there were something as crazy here.
What's next?
I need to.
One last time,
What's that do?
Blitzer comes in.
What?
Target a character in any discard pile, retrieve the character and put it into play ready in front of your front rank and under your control. Target performance a melee strike.
Blitzer.
Remove the target from the game regardless of location.
Come on, Blitzer.
Okay.
So
We
Blitzer's
need
doing a
some
melee
magical
here.
Christmas energy in this.
Into Durin?
+6
Yeah.
for 2 wounds.
All right. Do we don't have any defend? We
No.
don't have any fancy.
Durin has defend, but
Weird
he's the
stuff?
one being targeted.
He's got +2 AC from Jorn.
Oh.
No, 19.
So 19. So you do 13, but you've got that.
Yeah, you're good.
He can't buy a bucket. All right, then he goes away.
So the ultimate, so this is like the sneak attacks and stuff from Lord of the Rings, right? So you bring something in from the discard pile, it immediately gets to strike. Incredible action compression, so good. And
It's 2 wounds.
it's 2 wounds, so that would have taken my Warlord off the board. I, at this point, am feeling incredible because I know that you have a certain amount of bag of tricks against my like fundamental dwarf army, which of course is classic matchup. And I feel like I just survived your kind of like we call them, what do we call them in Halo? The grenades, the death grenades that you left. So right as you're dying, you can press the grenade button, and then if they hang around a little too long, if you escape that trap, you're fine. And so like I feel like I just escaped your trap.
Pull the strings.
Oh, there's the strings.
So Zach plays pull the strings here, which is just like bards and wizards only. By the way, I love the bards.
Yeah, I love bards.
So you take a lower level non-warlord. They have to make a magic save. If they fail, they gain stealth +15, and they're under your control until end of turn. So you take control of one of my dudes,
And I have a stealth +15.
and it's impossible to kill him because stealth +15.
So I take him from you and I get to use him.
And it happens to be a very strong card. Yeah.
That could be game breaking.
Uh-huh.
This guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he tails up.
So then I take him.
Yeah, he's yours.
He belongs to you.
Yeah, so you have 5 to 4 now.
Yep.
And
And
you gotta fall.
you need to fall. And this also has stealth +15.
And it doesn't come over to his side. It's just hanging in my stupid.
Yeah.
Would you guys get on my ranks?
He owns your character
heck is
first.
wrong?
Can I now attack him?
On your turn, yeah.
And
Your
you
action,
can remove that
absolutely.
wounds from him to do a melee strike.
Finding out.
your
I mean, you're on life support over
if
here.
I punch
but
here and kill,
Doesn't feel like it.
Then I could remove the wound to punch here.
Yeah.
With an extra wound.
Yeah.
So there's a line here.
There's another chance. You're telling me I got a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
So the classic Dumb and Dumber quote, which I know you live your life by, you're saying
There's a chance. 1 in a million.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, well, get rid of that, and I win the game. That's easy, right?
You roll to cancel the strike. You have plus 15 and plus 3. So you need a
Plus
2.
15 to all out. Well, we don't want to do that. What is that? What is this stealth?
He can, yeah.
He's stealthed in my freaking thing. And
It's the
then he
same
just-
thing. Yeah.
And then he just rolls dice and I don't do any damage?
Correct.
Yeah.
You cancel
All
your
right, well,
strikes.
then this thing.
Listen to him grouse. Listen to him
Look at him.
grouse.
Look at
Listen to
him.
him grouse.
This thing. Plus 7, so what is that? 10.
It's
plus
13
3,
total.
13.
18.
Yeah, so that's a miss.
Blade Dancer's strong.
And we'll try
He's a
it
beefy
again.
boy.
Look at the antlers.
That's fine.
Oh, that
10
hits.
plus 5 is
How many?
20.
23 twos.
How many? 2 wounds?
Yeah.
Mine?
That's courtesy right, yeah.
So I can use this to attack here.
Yeah, you can do either one.
I want to do 1 damage this time.
I'm going to try to defend there.
Yep.
9 plus 6 is 15.
Nope.
Not enough.
Plus 4 is 19. So
Plus 4 is
So what?
Close.
What am I looking for here?
I don't know how many items are in your discard file.
What's in your discard?
That would have ended it.
Yeah, so had a chance on the defend roll to not lose a Warlord here if you succeed on your strike, which of course I don't think you're going to do. But I missed on that defend. Now remember, Corrin, who I believe Corrin is the one that you took, has the Sword of the Ancients attached, which imagine that you play a card and you get all the value of all the cards that I've already attached to it. So that means you get plus for all of the cards in the discard pile, plus 1 from the sword, plus 6 for Corrin's base thing, plus for all the cards in the discard pile. So you're looking at plus 14 total on a 15. Now, I know you're not great at math, but that does mean that anything that isn't a critical failure is going to hit and kill my Warlord.
And a 1 would fail no matter what happens. And it's important too, like before making the strike roll, I can discard the item to get the extra wound, which I only want to do 1 to this character.
Yeah,
And I want to do 2 to the other character. So if you had defended it successfully, that would be a problem for me.
that would be a big problem.
You need not a 1 to hit.
14. Not a 1.
Not a 1 to kill Jordan.
It's not a 1. Jorn down.
imagine if that was a
Oh,
1?
my.
Once per turn.
And then you're able to discard your Ring of Warrant. And you're going to get another bonus from the Ring of Warrant. 2 wounds on the
He's
Warlord.
gonna,
Woodrow's getting wound up, dude. It's like
He's hulking out over there.
It's like the end of the Royal Rumble, where like somehow the guy that has entered has taken it. So I have 1 turn to win here. So I assume that you're going to attack my Warlord and try the 2 wound thing that we talked about.
Yep.
So I know that you can do all sorts of madness. You can remove a wound to attack again with that character. Your Warlord's in the back row. I've got to try to get to it. There's no way for me to try a 1 die. Can I get the win here? And so suddenly the winds have changed as they often blow around here.
So can you, in a
Have
single
me on the
action,
back foot.
win the game?
Yeah.
Jess is going to swing here.
It's good against these kinds of
well,
decks where they
he's
shoot
got
somebody
4
else.
times per turn.
Oh,
that
he's
he
got the
can
stealth.
cancel
Hold on,
on
he's
that
got the
one.
stealth.
Yeah,
We'll go here. This also may be pointless, but that hits.
yeah, that kills Joseph Blade, doesn't it?
Hey, move on
Dancer
up,
down.
buddy.
If you win from this
You
position,
could maybe do 2 wounds to him. That would be good.
plus 7 on the Warlord.
Here?
Tear us off, yeah.
Even.
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Oh my god, I'm down to 1.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that made this game really close. So, hey,
What
at least it's
insanity
possible
is
for you to
this?
die.
Remove your wound and do your strikes.
I don't
You
remove
earned
here.
it. Yeah.
So,
Plus 14.
oh wait, and I
All the
need to
waiting.
discard.
Discard an item.
Long have you waited?
And so what we've got here is your Warlord has 1 wound left, is on the front row. You've got 1 shot to kill my Warlord for 2 to 3, I think it's 3 wounds. And if you don't, look at the swarm that's coming your way, man.
It's a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of need to win right here, or I need to lose real quick.
I agree with you. With yet again somebody who's in my freaking ranks. Would y'all get out of there?
Worse yet, it was someone that you played.
I know,
With
you
items
took-
that you played.
You remember in card games whenever we talked about cards that steal other people's cards
So
and
much
how
value.
bustedly good they are?
So you're currently doing 2 wounds.
How does the power attack work?
Before you roll, it's a DC 20. So roll the die, add your power attack, and the skills to fail it.
Didn't make
Does he need a power attack?
No.
Okay. Okay. So that was
But he
just
got that 6 out of the way.
I got the 6 out of the way.
See, I want that one on the
So
inside.
now,
This
what am I
is
rolling?
right
6, 7 plus 8? 14?
Yeah.
Yep. And he's
It's a
only got
plus 15, and he's got a 17. So not a 1.
Not a 1. would
Not a
be
1,
ideal,
yeah.
yeah.
So 5% chance to
to
So lose the game.
Oh, that would feel bad.
Yeah, it'll be.
Oh,
This
that
is
would feel
Warlord
bad.
right here, is it not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And you did it. Good
Hey,
job.
did it.
Nice.
Good game.
Good game.
Not a one wins the game.
I will give you a competitor's nod for not hiding in the back.
Yeah,
of
right, right on.
Your brick house.
See, and that's one of the greatest things about this game and the win condition of killing the Warlord rather than doing life point damage. Because you will find yourself in board states in mini games where there is so many things in front of you as the attacker that it's going to take you hours to get through all of these blockers to do X damage to an opponent. But as long as you can find a way to do weird damage to their Warlord, you can get them. And that is one of my favorite things about this game is like, it's never too obtuse and weird and thick to say, if I can find a way to get that thing dead, all these 20,000 dwarves don't matter at all. That's it.
Yeah, which I love.
So what was your general thoughts about the game?
It's really cool to get to experience a game with such a legacy and so many old cards, and all these one-ofs that are coming up that are just crazy. I think with for me to routinely engage in this format, it's just the right group of people. And if everyone has that same kind of non-personal, we're doing crazy things, just here to have a good time. But after 10 hours of filming and then doing this, the fact that we were having so much, we were laughing the whole time and having a good time. And I never felt, there's a ton of stuff on the board from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I never felt the weight of that, which is awesome.
Because you might miss some stuff. You might miss a trigger, miss a passive. Nobody cares, right? And that's the key thing. And so I think the strength of the format is that you can actively band together to make meaningful progress into one of the players at the table, right? It's not just, I guess I'll throw a fireball at you and just take some damage away. I'll remove this creature that you have so that maybe everybody else has a better shot at you next turn. It's guys, we need to decide if we want to do a 3-player game plan where you take that guy out, you take that guy out, which moves this one forward, which means that I can take him out, and therefore he's not getting a passive +3 to all of his army. Do you guys want to try to do that? And then once that happens, it's okay, well, we've removed the big threat, and now it's well, here's my big engine builder, here's yours, and then now these players are well, we need to go get that.
100%.
And then they just miss rolls. And then it's okay, well, the grand betrayal has failed, and I hope that he doesn't come back at us with all of the fury of revenge.
Yeah, but it is hard for one player to get back at 3 people. And usually by 2 actions later, you forgot what happened.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't matter. It's you're in a tavern brawl, honestly, where it's yeah, you punched me 30 seconds ago, but I've been hit by 4 other people since then. So yeah, I'm sort of revenge agnostic. Or it doesn't matter. I'm just oh, well, I'm going to punch the most likely valuable target right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun. And the D20 just completely removes that intensity.
This is the thing that I was saying in the Discord about the format, is that I think most Magic Commander EDH players actually are looking for a vibe that is akin to throwing a bunch of D20s at a table, right? Because it's hard to take a game that is pretty cerebral and not built around this randomness and chaos and try to turn it into a really casual thing. Because the things are happening, and the only thing that stops that is you doing a thing directly to cancel it. But having a natural pass-fail mechanism in the game and having that D&D kind of role-playing vibe happening allows for all of these crazy stories to be told, and it allows for a casual vibe to happen at the table while still getting all of the card game things that you love about CCGs, TCGs. Yeah. It's like a miniatures game, which we know is 90% talking, 5% rolling the dice, 3% painting,
it's
and
90% assembly,
2% moving your pieces around.
10% thinking you're going to paint, and then some very incremental percentage of the other stuff.
You don't even have to fake the painting thing to play Warlord and get that experience.
And I think another key difference here between this and a Commander format is you start with a bunch of things on the table, and then it's only ever one action at a time. So the 2 slower parts of a traditional Magic style system is you have the build phase. It's well, we're all going to play one resource and play a little, creature and rinse, repeat. But you also have the sequencing on your own turn of all these different things that can happen.
Trigger this, trigger that.
Some people really enjoy that. But personally, I just love you can have all this stuff on the board. We had 20 plus characters on the board, turn 1, action 1. And it's never a heavy decision on what you should be doing next. You decide your one thing, and you don't ever feel, until you're Josh getting knocked out of the game, you don't ever feel like you're sitting and spectating. That's never how the game felt to me.
Yeah.
Which in Melee, that would happen for Thrones a lot of times, where
I just was weak.
You're doing your challenges, and I'm just sitting here waiting for you to do your 3 or 4 and your 3 or 4 before I get to my do my thing. So
yeah. So I think the players have spoken as far as if I'm to believe anything that I'm hearing about Magic, which is that Commander is the most popular format. People love getting together, taking it easy, and building really weird singleton decks that can string together bizarre combos and do fun things at the table. They want to see those things happen, and they want to also interact with their opponents both verbally and with cards on the table. And I think the direct feedback of something that you do collapsing an opponent's rank is very satisfying. I also think the ability for cards in Warlord to have these combo and engine things going on is very high, but it doesn't create that kind of somebody does one thing and then wins the game. It's like they do powerful things, but then everybody gets to say, okay, how are we going to react to that? Because it's hard to one-shot a Warlord out of nowhere, right? There's time of crafting the board state.
Things had to lead to that moment.
Yeah, and then it comes to the final moment, and they might roll a 1. And then it's like, what a story you get to tell.
Even at the end there, I could have easily rolled a 1. And then you could have rolled 1 back.
Who knows?
And who knows what happens from there.
So it has the automatic kind of and anytime you have a random input like a D20, it has to be more casual. It cannot be a cerebral game. So I think the Magic Commander format is obviously very popular. People love it. I think the Warlord Alliance format is hitting at a similar vibe, but it has a lot of strengths as well. And I hope you guys check it out. I think it's a really strong part of the Warlord offering. And check it out. If they're still on Kickstarter when you're watching this, then go there, see what they're up to. Otherwise, we should have Warlord products on our website. If you're watching this 5 years later, hopefully that's still true. Hopefully the game made it and everyone bought it and it's still going. But no matter what, get some Warlord cards, sit down with a few other people, have a great time, roll some D20s, maybe drink a beer or coffee or tea or whatever you're into, and enjoy. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.